Hey guys, it's your girl Kizzy Rock. So, some of you had asked me what were my thoughts on what's going on in Hollywood with the fires and things like that. And so, I have a few downloads I want to share. Now, this is just all, there's nothing factual, of course, but those of you know, right? But I want to hit it from a few different angles, if you will. So, first and foremost, even before the fires, you guys often hear me say in my recordings, Hollywood is literally tanking, like literally tanking. There's a shift going on. This shift is about good versus evil, right? It's not so much of the gender wars or the race wars. I really feel like a lot of that stuff was pushed, especially these gender wars. A lot of these things were literally pushed and people took bait to be a distraction. So you have men and women who are arguing with each other. It's so insane, right? Of course, race wars. I mean, the racial climate has been that way forever, but this shift is more so less about good versus evil. I don't think a lot of people, including myself, really knew how dark. I mean, we knew Hollywood was dark, but it's almost like we had blinders on. They programmed us. They programmed us from a very early age. And so what's happening now is because the shift is here, people are waking up. The scales are being removed from people's eyes. And so this is why you see a lot of frantic things prior to the fire going on. I won't call any names, but this is why you see certain people running to get baptized or, and I mean, great for them, right? I'm just making a point here, right? Running to get baptized or ordained as ministers or even relocating to different countries, right? Or committing suicide, right? Or exposing other people before they get exposed. Like, I mean, it's chaos, it's mayhem, like literally. So before the fire started, Hollywood was already like in chaos. But there's a lot of things that's going on behind the scenes that has not been revealed to us yet. It hasn't hit the news stations yet. But those of you who are tapped in, you get it. You already see it for what it is. God have already like revealed to you certain people, and it's going to be mind blowing. Like there's one particular person that just won't leave. Like my spirit is going to be exposed, and it's going to like, oh my goodness, this is crazy. So, all right. So looking at that video is wild. Now, we can't deny the fact that Hollywood, California have always dealt with fires or whatever the case may be, right? But when you look at these videos that's online, like spiritually sensitive people, you feel this is a different kind of fire. This is not your average brush fire or your average fire that ignites in Hollywood when climate is dry or whatever the case may be. Spiritually, you feel this is a different kind of fire. This is the wrath of God type of fire. This is your power and your money can't save you type of fire. It's different, but the normal eye won't be able to pick up on to it. But spiritually sensitive people, you know that this fire is a different kind of fire, and it's scary, right? I mean, not for us, if you will, but it's definitely scary for them because it's like, I'm so used to buying my way out of things. I'm so used to having power in these cliques where no matter what happened, we're going to be good, right? We're going to be good. So there's a lot of rumors. Some people feel as if, and just reading through the comments, not my comments, but comments on like TikTok or whatever, a lot of people feel as if these fires are being intentionally set because it's going to cover up a lot of evidence, right? Let's say, for example, when, I won't call any names, but when a certain person's house got raided, right? If that fire had already started prior to him going to jail, they wouldn't have evidence of a million baby oil bottles. They wouldn't have. So a lot of these people have so much different evidence, and they've been doing wicked things for so long that they can't even remember what they done hid in the backyard. Like they don't even know, like they don't want any residue to be left behind. So, okay, why not go ahead and ignite the, and I'm not saying that somebody did that. I'm saying what I've read. And so I'm trying to put some context to other people's comments, right? So why not set these fires so whatever evidence that they're seeking or may come up, right? Because somebody's ratting, somebody's going to be speaking in the next 6 months. Let me try to go ahead and get rid of all evidence. Because it's just not confined to one area. Now it's the Hollywood Hills. And if you guys have ever been to Hollywood Hills, like it's very, Hollywood Hills is like, first of all, it's very, 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 very hilly, but the houses are very, very close knitted together. And there's tons of celebrities who live in the Hollywood Hills area. Well, celebrities all around Hollywood, but particularly the Hollywood Hill area is very, very confined. It's almost like one way in, one way out type of thing. Now it's hit that side of Hollywood. And I forgot where the other side, I think if I'm not mistaken, it's 2 or either 3 areas that's now on fire. I'm not even sure. So that's one aspect of it where other people feel like, no, this is all God, right? This is all God. God is tired of the foolishness, right? God is showing and proving to them that your money and your power means absolutely nothing. The shift is here. Y'all been playing around too long, right? You had control of the world too long. You're programming people. You're keeping people broke, and you're sitting here profiting off of, like, so this is God, right? But then you have people who come in and say, no, that's not God. God won't do such a thing because there's innocent people. Right? God won't do such a, listen, we can't say what God will do. We can't say what God will do. Because we really don't know who's innocent and who's not innocent. You don't know who's innocent. Like, if you've been to Hollywood, you listen. Yes, it's beautiful weather, and I'm speaking specifically Hollywood. I actually stayed in Burbank, which I didn't feel that heaviness and that energy, that dark energy in Burbank, if you will. But when I got to Hollywood, like, you feel it. You feel the dark energy. It's heavy. The TV lied and showed like this grand of a movie type atmosphere or whatever. But when you get in Hollywood, you feel how heavy and demonic that energy is. So we can't say what God will do and what God won't do, because God, at the end of the day, his will be done, point blank, period. And if you in the midst of it all, you can get it too, right? So someone else commented and said, well, even if that was God, then why does New Orleans, no, they said Atlanta, why does Atlanta get to escape, or something to that effect? Listen, things are about to get crazy. This is, people feel like, oh my goodness, like 2025 just came in. Listen, it's about to get real crazy. So in reference to Atlanta, I'm going to even throw New Orleans in there. So listen, my Atlanta people, my New Orleans people, as well as Vegas up in there. Right? I'm just speaking about places where personally, right, it's nothing personal, if you will, but personally, I myself have felt the heaviness in the dark energy in these places, among some other places. I mean, you can feel it. So who was to say that this particular place won't be next? I mean, New Orleans just, had something sadly happen there. And it's not to say more won't happen, right? Atlanta, right? I travel a lot, but when I'm in Atlanta, I'm almost an hour north Atlanta. You can pay me to live in Atlanta. That energy is too heavy for me, right? I'm too spiritually sensitive. So a lot of these places are going to get shooken up. Not just Hollywood. Not just Hollywood. So I've always said wherever I travel or where I'm going, I'm not staying like in the areas where I feel like, and don't get it twisted. Yes, the chosen ones are protected, but at the same time, like my energy is just too pure. And if something disturbs my energy, I just can't have it in my life. It's just, I can't even explain it. It's just the impact of me. I need pure energy, period. So it's not to say these places won't get hit. Truth of the matter is, I received the download on one of these places is going to get hit. It's going to get shooken up. So, my chosen ones, at the end of the day, yes, we're covered. At the end of the day, we're called, we're chosen, right? We're now discovering that like some people see it like you have a million people now talking about chosen. Like, listen, I've been speaking about this thing for years, but everybody's now all of a sudden, everybody is not chosen, first of all, right? And then there's many people who've been chosen and just didn't answer the call because they didn't go through the transformation and they're not in proper alignment to even be used during these times. So maybe you are chosen, but did you answer the call? And I'm not speaking to you guys. I'm speaking about a million people on TikTok who feel like they're chosen, right? But either which way, now it's all making sense more than ever. That vision that God gave you many years ago that didn't manifest yet, right? Or maybe now it's manifesting, but you couldn't understand. It didn't make sense on why it didn't manifest when he gave you the vision 10 years ago, right? 6 years ago, 5 years ago. It didn't make sense. Well, now you're realizing now that the way he's going to use you, he has already made provisions and provided for you in that area. This is why we have to be so tapped in now more than ever. This is why the enemy has sent so many counterfeits. This is why God has removed these counterfeits out of the way. This is why now you're having epiphanies and aha moments about certain people that you didn't have last month. He's moving all distractions so he can bring you back to the core, the root of when he first gave you a vision about a certain something and you answered that call. Some of us thought that the promise or the download was one thing. And it still is that thing, but it's not going to be used how we initially thought. Okay, that can look like, let me give a couple of examples. That can look like those of you who have been pressing that kingdom spouse or I also say kingdom partners as well as destiny helpers, if you will. You may have been locked onto that thing because you had people who shouldn't have even been speaking on it. So was this fairy tale mindset of just kingdom spouses and everything's gonna be so cute and fairy tales and Disney worlds and I get to walk around my house with my tutu on and my honey. Y'all got work to do. So a lot of you guys who were waiting on these kingdom spouses to be ushered in, right? And maybe even you gave up on that idea, even though God had put that thing so profound in your spirit and you couldn't shake it. But then all of a sudden it disappeared. That desire disappeared for a moment. So you may have thought like, ooh, so that was never God. It was a familiar spirit. Ooh, that was never God. That was the enemy, right? And the whole time, maybe you just had the wrong idea and concept. So God had to pull that desire, right? And let him to keep working on you and building you. And now that desire is going to return. This is why a lot of you guys are seeing counterfeits being removed left to right, because now he has to make room for the kingdom spouse to be ushered in. But these are more so less about your partners and how you're going to be used, right? These may be two chosen people. Well, I mean, I wouldn't see it no other way, right? But two chosen people, because you're going to need partners. Things are going to get crazy. This could have looked like those of you who were promised wealth transfers in whatever way, whatever form, right? Promise Wealth Transfers. So you just thought, well, I'm such a great person. I took a lot of hits in life, right? I've been a chosen one, so I went through a lot of hell. So God is going to bless me with wealth transfers just to live happily ever after on my farm with a peace of mind, right? And granted, maybe so, because we get blessed in the process. Don't get it twisted. But now you're realizing he's giving you downloads like, so you thought it was that cute, boo? So you really thought it was just about you? Like, you're going to be blessed. No. I need you to start building bunkers. I need you to start building shelters. Because look at Hollywood. You said these people are running. Now, granted, these folks got money, right? So it's nothing for them to get hotels or whatever the case may be. But that's not the case for the majority of the people. So when certain things start hitting and you got not only just your family members, right? But you're chosen. So you don't get to pick and choose to say, okay, I can only take 50 people in my house and it's going to only be 50 of my family members. No, you're chosen. You answer the call. So it may be 50 complete strangers that's running from a place that has been, just whatever's going on, right? Running from that place and just like these folks in Hollywood, just grabbing whatever bags you can. Half of them had to leave their cars because as I stated earlier, in the Hollywood Hills, it's one way in, one way out type of thing, right? It's so tight. And now you're realizing these wealth transfers was just not about me and the farm and my rocking chair, just in a peace of mind. I'm going to be responsible for making sure that other people have shelter as well. If that's what God needs me to do. Those of you, I'm definitely in this group of people, among some other things, but those of you where God was been telling you to stock up on things, listen, matter of fact, I think I'm going to do a video, maybe this weekend, I'm not sure, on certain supplies that's important, that's going to be very, very important to have. A lot of these things have shelf life of like 10, 15 years type of thing. Water filter, I forgot where it's called, what's the brand? I don't know, but you can literally, like, let's just say it's a flood, right? You can literally drink the flood water because if there's no water supply at all, but it filters these things out. A lot of you guys were given the wealth transfers or will be giving wealth transfers, not only for what I was speaking about earlier about shelters, but God will also start to reveal to you these shelters and bunkers are to be stocked up with certain things. These can look like medication supplies for the elderly. Even that may get cut off because, of course, what pharmacist is going to be open when things get crazy like that. So he's going to start giving you guys herbal supplies. Like, listen. And some people some people feel like the herbal route is not, I'm very, very supportive in regards to herbal medication versus prescription, if you will. But whatever, you may not have access to prescription. So let's just say it's somebody with diabetes, somebody with high blood pressure, right? You want to stock up on things like kudzu. You want to stock up on things like dandelion and hibiscus tea and things like that, right? Just in case. Those of you who can get access to, especially like if you have elderly parents or whatever, if they can get access to their medications 3 and 4 months, but of course, many times that's not going to be because the insurance companies are not going to pay for that in advance. So go ahead and stock up on these alternative medications if just in case. See, that's why we're chosen. We got to be thinking ahead. These folks are not thinking ahead. They're not thinking ahead. You're chosen, so you can't think like the average. Look around. The average person is just going on with life like life is like. They're just like la 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 la. And I'm just like, you guys don't even feel or see what's going on. A lot of people do, but a lot of people don't. You're chosen. You answer the call. You're getting downloads left to right. You feel what's going on. You feel things will never, ever, ever be the same. It's going to get worse. It has to get worse before it gets better. But it's going to be a lot of hell in the process. This is a crucial time to really stay tapped in, because God is so strategic. God will alert you about certain places, right, where you already know not to go, or even if you have to warn certain people. Did you guys see the guy on TikTok who was warning everybody, I think maybe like a month or so ago, or maybe a couple of months ago, about evacuating California, and everybody thought he was insane. Like, they were literally laughing at this guy. He was just walking around and yelling at people in public, leave California, evacuate California, and nobody could get it. Listen, chosen people get it. And listen, people can laugh all they want because they can't see what you see. You can't worry about that, right? You just have to be obedient to whatever God is asking you to do. Everything is not churchy, holy, holy. Everything is not churchy, holy, holy. In fact, you won't even be able to go to some of those churches. Come up out of that religion mindset. Well, I'm not going to tell you what to do. Do what you do. Do what you do, honey. Go get your sparkling hat and your Mary Jane's, honey. And listen, and keep judging other folks, right? Who is not tied to that religious dogma. Like, it's real out here. It's real. It's going to get real. We're just seeing the tip of the iceberg, honey. It's going to get crazy out here. I think that's all I wanted to share. But I think maybe I'm going to do a video this weekend going over certain supplies, things that I already have, as well as other things that I'm still waiting for it to come in. But there's so many things that we need to be stocked up on, because listen, food shortages, listen. Absolutely. God does not give us the spirit of fear, and we're not going to fear, honey, but God also give us wisdom and common sense. You can't just sit there when God is giving, not y'all. I'm getting my feelings because I be trying to talk to people and they don't get it. Like, you can't, you caught up on this. Well, God don't fear. Absolutely, please don't fear. But faith without works is dead. God give you wisdom. You can't sit here and think you can just pray and pray and pray. Please pray. First and foremost, please pray. But please don't think you can just pray and do absolutely nothing. If God is giving you certain certain insights, right? You gotta move with that stuff. You have to be obedient, even when it doesn't make sense. Even when I got stuff for the last 4 years that I had no idea why God was telling me to get it, but I got it, and now it makes complete sense. And I thank God that I do have it now, because when I go to look on Amazon, guess what? Sold out. Sold out. Some of these folks, go on YouTube and look up those bunker videos or end time, whatever. We used to laugh at those. Well, not me, but people used to laugh at these people years ago. Honey, these people, listen, they're good. Chemical masks are very, very limited on Amazon, right? And I know a lot of people will feel like, well, but who has the, which is true for a lot of people, who has the money to be trying to stock up on things for years, and people can barely pay their light bill tomorrow? Absolutely true. But listen, at the end of the day, we do what we want to do, right? If you're somebody who's literally robbing Peter to pay Paul for bills solely, absolutely. But then you got people who are out here spending money on nails, right? Every 2 weeks, hair, right? Clothes, strip clubs, whatever you got going on, right? And then these will be the same people who turn around and say, "No, you gotta figure out what's important, because it's about to get real." Oh, lastly, thank you, Holy Spirit. If you don't have passports, please consider getting a passport. I'm going to actually call my family today. I've had a passport for a very long time, but we need passports. For different reasons, right? But we need passports. We can't wait till the last minute. Please don't wait. Please don't wait till the last minute. Please don't wait till the last minute. You know, I had a dream, and I'm not even a dreamer like that. I know a lot of you guys get visions and stuff in dreams. Not me per se. I may have had 4 or 5 dreams in my life. I don't even know. But now it's coming back to me. I had a dream about 3 years ago where it was some type of disaster hit. And you know when you're in the airport and you're looking out the window, so you see like all the other planes are like have maybe just came in, or they're doing maintenance, but you can see like a lot of the planes all at one time, but you're still in the airport looking out the window. It was chaos, meaning that area. It was people running and scrambling, people who didn't even have passports, who were trying to get on certain planes, but they couldn't because they didn't have passports. But it was chaos. It was very, very scary because everybody was panicking. And listen, we got to be prepared. We got to be prepared. Another thing that I'm going to be contacting my family about, and chosen people, the majority of you are like you're chosen, right? So you're going to be the one to have to put things in place, right? You're going to have to be the one to make sure you stay out with everybody, right? You're going to have to be sure that but people don't consider when these towers go down, they're not considering these phones, right? They're not considering when disaster hit, the cell tower may be down. And if you don't live in a household with your family members, everybody's scattered. So I think it's wise, one idea, but come up with your own, is wise for everybody to have, especially if you guys like live out of state or whatever, to have a location. Like, listen, if your town get hit, right, then you come here, but this is going to be I don't care if there's 1,000 people in that one spot. You don't leave that spot, because that's going to be the spot that I know I'm going to be able to find you at. Because I can't call you. Half of us don't even know people's numbers by heart anymore. So the grocery store, the Piggly Wiggly, right? That's the grocery store for those who don't know. But the Piggly Wiggly, that's going to be the spot. I don't care if you've been there 15 hours. If you don't see me, you stay there till I get there. That type of stuff. Because what happened is people will get frantic, and then what do? They start shuffling around. Oh, maybe she's here. Maybe she's there. Well, she was there. Like, I know that's her favorite store. Maybe she's there. And now I get there. I miss you. And child, that's how chaotic things are going to be. So ask God for wisdom. Ask God for insight, specifically for you, right? Meaning how he wants to use you. Insights on how to prepare, insights on strategic ways to move accordingly with your family, your loved ones, things like that, even for yourself. He will give you all the insights you need. The problem is we were too distracted, and that's why the enemy has sent so much distraction our way in major attacks in our way these last several months or even last year. Listen, people who don't add value to your life, they got to go. People who don't add value to your life, they got to go. People who are adding stress to your life, got to go. Because what is stress? What is toxic energy? It's distractions. You can't be aligned if you're distracted with toxic negative energy. You are not responsible for other people's stuff. We all have our stuff. Accountability is key. We can't keep making excuses about people's behavior, because we all are accountable for what our behaviors are, regardless of what we've been through in life. It is our duty to heal on our own. It is not our responsibility to accept people, quote unquote, the way they are. No, you're going to get yourself together prior to coming in my life. Period. We have too much work to do. We have to be too focused. It's your girl, Kizzy Rock.